Okay, we've got quite a very interesting video for you folks today. I'm sure you guys are very well acquainted with simulator games. Everybody knows about the simulator games, especially on PC. You can find a simulator game for just about anything. You can find simulation games for flying or truck driving. There's Power Wash Simulator, of course. There's all sorts of simulator games. And depending on your taste and everything like that, you're going to find all kinds of crazy stuff. Really crazy stuff. Some things get really interesting, like the game we're going to be talking about today. This is a little game called Plantation Simulator. And the story behind this is really insane. So, if you're like one of these people that gets really sensitive about certain topics, viewer discretion advised on this one. But as it sounds, Plantation Simulator, game with whipping black people, was released on Steam. This is probably one of the most wild and controversial games in Steam history, and yet it was published, although you might have noticed that I did a video a few months back about a little game called Horses that they would not allow to be published on Steam. You have to get that over a GOG if you want to play that one. But this game is absolutely insane. They describe in this game, you will be whipping black people to keep your farm productive. If you whip your black person too much, they will die. Obviously, pretty crazy. There was people talking about it on X and whatnot. There is apparently a image here. That's you playing as the plantation owner. I'm not sure who these people are. These are your, your chattel that you got to whip, of course. So pretty crazy stuff indeed. And I mean, is anybody honestly surprised? And then you got all kinds of these grifters that have actually been absolutely adoring it. Matter of fact, a good old buddy, one that has like a big mallet, he bought the game on Steam. Interestingly enough, I'm not really very surprised. Seems like that is his brand nowadays, even though that wasn't. But I guess when it started making him money, it became his brand. And of course, it appears to violate Steam's guidelines, which of course, big shocker because you aren't supposed to publish hate speech or promote hatred, violence, discrimination against groups of people based on ethnicity, religion, gender, age, disability, or sexual orientation. Now, this gets really wild. Because apparently the developer, they pulled a fast one on everybody. And now they changed Plantation Simulator to this. They, and you can see the negative reviews, mostly negative, 25%. There's a very telling story. We're going to be taking a look at that. But they changed the characters from black to white. They also covered them up. They're no longer nude because this game had a nudity warning. And instead of whipping them, you're kissing them with strings of hearts. As far as I understand, the gameplay is otherwise more or less the same. But that's pretty wild. That is pretty wild. And obviously a very controversial choice to, publish the game in the first place. For a very specific target group of people and then pull a fast one on them. I really wonder what the intention was here. I wonder if this developer was trying to out them, if they were just pulling a grift of their own. I don't know. I really don't know. But they have made some different comments here. They mentioned update 1.2 is here. This was as of yesterday, and this is apparently the big update that made the big change that everybody is very controversial about. Let's look at the discussion, what they have to say, people here. And people like, what the fuck? Seriously? If so, I'm refunding this Goyce. Oh yeah, fantastic. Gotta slip in a little bit of that anti-Semitism, don't we? Refunding now, immersion breaking, refunding. This just delist this game at this point. OP cuck to Israel. This is black erasure. Don't hide the truth. Yes, we gotta have our Plantation Simulator, guys, so we can know about Black history. What a great take! What a great take. This person, more Irish and Chinese were slaves in the U.S. than Africans. How is this immersion breaking? Oh, geez, the racist lack of acknowledgement of Black history made me refund this game. Well, I was going to buy this. No, I'm not. Everyone that called this a femboy psyop has been vindicated. Oh, geez. Indeed they have. Indeed they have, haven't they? This is absolutely wild. We got to look at some of these comments. You were the chosen one. This game was the chosen one, guys. This was the game that was going to save us from DEI games. Oh my God. This is absolutely a disaster. Absolutely a disaster. Well, let's go ahead and look at the gameplay video again. Yeah, this is the game as it is. So they updated the video too. Don't worry, they're actually clothed in this video, so we don't have to worry about that. At least not that I know of. I don't know. This game wasn't even coming up in my normal search. I had to use like the Steam. I had to use the browser to come up with this game. I don't know if this game may be flagged for like a, because like I know in Steam adult only games you have to opt in for those, and I'm not opted in right now. I don't think. Maybe that's why it didn't come up. I have no idea. But yeah, this game here is just, it obviously looks like a very cheap cash grab kind of game. I really don't even know what the objective is here. I mean, I see the little green plants, so I guess you're supposed to be gathering those for currency to buy the upgrades, and you gotta whip them into shape, with the hearts now. It used to be a legit whip. Refund my money for false advertising after the game changed skin color. The dev doesn't have the backbone to stand up for the historical accuracy of the skin color of the hardworking laborers, and the dev misrepresented the product by changing its features after customers bought the game. Jesus, why? Why did they do this to us, guys? Why did they do this to us? Racist! The fact that anyone come out with a game like this is insane. Not cool at all. This is from May 13th, by the way. So this is actually the original published version. So this game's getting hate on both sides. So that's kind of interesting. How is this on Steam? Report and hope Steam hasn't gone full on fascist at Orange Idiot. Jeez, man. This game is just absolutely nuts. Oh boy. Yeah. Here we go. Dumbass liberal committing a federal crime as a social experiment for his liberal politics. I wanted to whoop N-words. I didn't want to essay my female workforce. How is this better? Is this because the dev thinks women are lesser than men of certain races? I can play identity politics too. The dev clearly hates women and it shows. I have no idea what the deal is with this. I have no freaking clue. But it's honestly hilarious. It is honestly hilarious. I don't know if this developer, if this was like some kind of like 4D chess move they were trying to pull off to, like I said, to expose these people, which is kind of pointless because they gladly flaunt it out in the open nowadays. I mean, this isn't like 2015. This is 2026. Have you seen the stuff that's been posted on the internet recently? I mean, there was that Chud the Builder dude that recently got arrested because he tried to shoot somebody. He ended up shooting himself in the process because he's a total idiot. And it was because he was causing an altercation, going around calling people the N-word and trying to get up in people's faces. And he he ended up creating that situation, and he might be looking at up to 90 years in prison. Absolutely nuts. Absolutely. But, it is what it is, I guess. At the same time, who knows? This happened in Florida, I think. So he'll probably get pardoned by Governor DeSantis or whatever. I mean, if we're being honest. But I digress. That's not the point of this here. I'm not sure if this was like legitimately the whole plan of the developer, or if the developer decided because of how controversial the original release of the game was that they would quickly change it up so that it would potentially meet the Steam standard so that it wouldn't get pulled, but then it upset all the people that bought it for the reasons that they bought it for in the first place, which is why it has that 25% negative reviews. We can read these reviews. The dev removed all the minority representation. There is no diversity in this game anymore. Used to be lore accurate to the past, but newest update just whitewashed everything. Black representation is so rare and it continues to be overshadowed by white supremacy. Bad update just ruined the whole premise of the game. The game was very fun, but I cannot recommend this game to anybody. Initially, when I played the game, it had meaning, purpose, but after the latest update, all of the drive was removed. I cannot, in good faith, let anyone continue to play this game and be misled by the terrible game that is the intro and videos of an honest man's work. Maybe, if the new update was revered, I would consider rebuying the game, but until then, I will enjoy my refund. They turned everyone white. The store video in pictures white. The creator caved to backlash. 0 out of 10. Oh my gosh. This one's a positive. Thanks to Twitter, the creator of this game doesn't even need to promote his game to be bought. Like, why farm customers if you can farm Twitter cancel us to get your profit with a game like this? Actual smart move to gain money in today's economy. Absolutely nuts. Absolutely nuts. Plantation Simulator. Jesus. What an insane game. This one's going to go down in the history books, people. For one way or another. But it does kind of expose a little bit on Valve's part. It exposes their hypocrisy on why they approve some games and not others. And it doesn't seem like they follow their own standards because they let this game on their store in the first place. The original version of the game. Maybe this one would have been, like, if this was the original build of the game, maybe this one would have been allowed, I guess. I don't know, maybe. It's tough to say. I would think so. But they let the original version of the game with the, the guy whipping the black people, They let that version of the game in. What the hell is going on, Gabe? Like, I mean, I'm cool either way, if you want to have like a completely unfettered storefront where anything goes, that's cool, I guess, let the market decide, let the gamers decide. But like I said, it doesn't explain why certain games like horses or what was that game that they pulled because China was upset about it? I forgot what it was called. Devotion, yes. That was pulled from Steam. So why is horses and Devotion not allowed on Steam, but Plantation Simulator is? Can you answer that? I think we would like to know the answer to that question. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you haven't already seen it, please be sure to check out the most recent video that I've put up. And then in the other corner, the algorithm is going to recommend something fire. I hope you enjoy it. And if for some reason you haven't already, be sure to subscribe down there. But that's going to be the last line.